Hi guys, today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to make your own Christmas stockings. These are some examples of Christmas stockings that you can make and stockings that I have obviously made. Here's one. As you can tell, this is more of like a classic shaped stocking. When you make a pattern for this, you're going to want to make it like a downwards foot. As you can tell, I sewed some bats on here and different fabric. Here is another one, same shape, but this one I embroidered some spider webs. These are stockings I've made for my children, and they're a little more, I guess you'd say, childlike or rustic. I don't know exactly what you'd call that. Instead of fur, this is felt up here. Sewed these on as well as the patch, and same idea here, but there's buttons and a bow felt on it too. These are the stockings that I am going to show you how to make in this video. These are much smaller, completely different shape, just to give you guys an example of how many different kinds of stockings you could do. Whatever you can draw up is completely up to you. So if you would like to know how to do this and want to watch me, keep watching the video. To start this project out, you are going to want to cut out the shape of your stocking. I picked this design because it's something that I haven't done before. As you will tell, it is different from the other two that I did, and much smaller, on a much smaller scale. There is the top. You're going to want to cut out the top and make it a little bit larger than your stocking itself. If you want to add a little bit more seam allowance, that might be a good idea, but this stocking is going to be fairly small. Then I'm using scrap fabric. This is going to be the main fabric. This is actually like a remnant of a blanket that I had made, and you can actually go to the store and buy some, like a cheap fleece blanket. They're like a few dollars, especially depending on how many stockings you plan to make. This is some cheap fake fur that I believe I got at Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago to make another project, and I just kept the scrap for that. And this is another type of fake fur, but it's a little more low pile, plus it's a little bit like thicker material. And here is the last thing that you will need, other than, you know, cutting scissors, pens, needles, and thread. This is a ribbon that you're going to be using, as you will see on, you have seen on the other stockings. This is a double-faced, I believe, satin ribbon. It's thicker, a little bit better quality. Because of the colors I've picked for this, I'm probably going to be using this ribbon on both stockings. After we make the stockings, I will show you how to embellish those. So we are going to take, and you can either lay down the pattern on top of the fabric. You could do two or one at a time, because you need a front and a back. I'm going to be making two stockings, but you can either lay it down and lay weights on top of it, or you can pin this all the way around. Same with the top right here. You are going to lay that down on this fabric and cut out two for the front and the back. And then after you do that, you pin the sides together and sew all the way around. After you sew around the stocking and leaving the top opening, I used a simple slip stitch, which is pretty quick. This doesn't need to be super sturdy or anything, especially if you're just using it for decoration to either hang on a tree or fireplace. So you flip it the right side out, and this is the only tricky part. You're going to want to take the cuff that you sewed the two sides of together and put it over your stocking and pin it to the inside part. You're going to have two little pieces that aren't really sewn on right here that are longer, and if you want to, you can leave the seam and put little stitches that will add extra decoration, kind of make it look a little punky or rustic, either look you're going for. Or you can flip this over kind of like a hem, which is what I'm going to do. And then you just sew the hem, the little flap on the inside. That way you do not see the stitches on the outside. You just see these little flaps that are sewn when you open it. So I'm going to pin it and show you how that looks. This is what it looks like when it's pinned. And it kind of gives you the idea of how your stocking is going to end up looking. Now, make sure when you're making this to make the top a little bit wider than the rest of the stocking to kind of look like a cuff. And here's to show you how it has a kind of hem almost that you're going to be sewing in the inside, so that you don't see these stitches on the outside. Or you can use some white thread possibly and stitch it all the way through. However, I can't guarantee that you're not going to be able to see the stitches on the outside. So this is the last part of the tutorial, guys. As you can see, I attached this to the bottom and I put a little ribbon on. This is how I sewed it. I just pinned it to the back part and kind of sewed a little square there. You won't see that when it's hanging or when it is on the tree, if you decide to put these on the tree. I embellished this one. I took a Halloween stencil, as you can see here. This came in like a craft kit I've had for years, as you can tell. And I used a little bit of puff paint. And it's not dry yet. If you're going to do something like that, I put like a little piece of paper, cardboard inside of the stocking, to make it flat, and the paint won't go through to the other side of the fabric. And then with this one, I just simply sewed this cute little skull button onto it. I think they both turned out pretty well. Stay tuned for another tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make Christmas ornaments that are gothy using cookie cutters and clay. And after I do those, I will be doing a giveaway where I give away everything that I make. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.